Yes, and with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, first things first, you're going to lay down on the floor. I would advise shoes and socks off, but if you do not want to, you do not have to. Anyways, you're going to lay on the floor, get your feet nice and close into your hips. Arms is just nice and relaxed. And what we're going to do here is take some nice deep breaths. Try and think breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And try and feel into your belly. Pause at the top. Pause at the bottom of your breath. Try and feel yourself relaxing into the ground. We'll go two more breaths. Last exhale. Okay, what we're going to do now is keeping your torso nice and set. You're going to take one heel, push it out. The other heel, push it out. You should find your abs have to be a little bit engaged here, maybe in your hips. I want you to make sure your thumbs are pointed up to the ceiling. You're going to tuck your chin. This isn't going to feel particularly comfortable, most likely. You should have a lot of tension throughout your upper torso and your hips. What we're going to do here is breathe as well. Try and get the same amount of air and just feel stretching happening in your rib cage, in your abs. Nice deep inhales, hold, and a deep exhale and hold. Go one more. Okay, now you're going to take your hands and you're going to reach them up and as far away from you as you can. Now, if you have limited space, like I do, or your shoulders are feeling very tight, you might end up only, off the ground. That's totally fine. Try and focus keeping your back nice and set down. And we're going to breathe a couple times here. If you're not on the ground, try and think about letting your shoulders relax in that armpit region. Maybe make a fist if you need to get yourself more space. One more breath. And try and breathe into that tension. Then it relax. Okay, what we're going to do now, let yourself kind of relax on the ground with your arms up. You're going to take one hand and you're going to reach as far as you can across your body until you roll to your stomach. And you're going to take that same hand and go backwards and reach until you roll, right? And then we're going to do the same thing with the other hand. So reaching across your body, you're going to feel that rotation through your spine, and then you roll. Same hand goes back. Nice and slow. Try and be as controlled as you can. And now we're going to go with the feet. So your foot's going to go up to the side, just point your toes, and then allow yourself to roll over, and then back. And now we're going to do the other leg. So you should be feeling this in your abs, your spine, your hips. It's a really good movement for just total body coordination, especially if you go nice and slow working on your control. Okay, so just the one per side, per limb set. If you want to do more on your own, totally go for it. It's a really good movement. What we're going to do now is some wishbone kicks. So you're going to get into this tuck position, low back on the ground. You're going to bring your knees and feet up. So you got this 90-90 position. Then you're going to open your feet out apart from each other. Now, if you're feeling cramping in the hips, come back in, let them relax, try and go back out a little less far. What we're going to do here, stand up to the ceiling, and then down. As you're doing this, you want to exhale, inhale down, back to that 90. Exhale. Try again, breathing through the nose, really working on getting air out and air in. Allow your shoulders to relax, your neck to relax. Feel that tension in the hamstrings. You push your heel as far away as you can. One more on each side. And if you're getting any kind of cramping on the outside of your hips, bring your feet back together and move them back out. And then we're going to close and come down. Very nice. You need to shake it out a little bit. Go for it. We're going to do now some figure 4 pulses. So you're going to take one leg, cross it over so it's on your other knee, and then keep your back on the ground. Lift that leg off so you feel some tension in this hip. If you feel tension here, totally fine. We'll just do the movement in that position. So you're going to be here, and what you're going to do is think about taking this knee. You're going to bring it in towards you, and then squeeze as you exhale, move it out. Should be firing up that outside edge of your hip. Big exhale, driving that knee out. Inhale. Just back and forth with that. Time this movement to your breathing. You want to feel that squeeze. Your hip flexor should be doing a little bit of work on that up leg. If this is tiring, you just come down and do it here. It works basically the same, you just get less of a stretch, which is totally fine. It's usually a very tight movement anyways. Go one more on this leg. And come down, uncross, recross, and again, low back stays on the ground. You lift up until you feel tension in that hip. Bring the leg in, move it out. Inhale in, exhale out. You're trying to think about using your nose, keeping your upper body nice and relaxed. Just back and forth, feeling that squeeze in that outside edge of your hip. Should feel some stretching in your groin area. Two more. Nice, and let that slowly come down. And we're going to cross and recross again. So what we're going to be doing on this leg is some ankle movements. In fact, I will go here first so that you can see this. Aha! I'm going to go this orientation so you can see what I'm doing with my ankles. So you're crossed here, your legs on the ground. You should feel nice and comfortable in this position. If you want to back the knee off so you're not stretched, totally fine. What you're going to do here is squeeze your toes down, not as hard as you can, but as hard as you can without cramping. And then you're going to be doing some ankle circles, holding the toes in that squeeze position. So it's trying to keep your toes curled, and you're making nice, gentle circles as big as you can, allowing pretty much everything else to relax. If you start to get cramping in your toes, just let them off and wiggle, and then squeeze. Continue that direction. And once you hit about 7 to 10, then go the other way. Try and work on continuing nice calm breathing. Feeling that expansion at that base of your rib cage. And again, once you hit 7 to 10, we're going to switch the legs now. I'm going to turn back this way so I'm on my mat. And again, squeeze the toes as much as you can without inducing significant cramping. And nice gentle circles, as big as you can make them with your foot while trying to hold that curl. Point here is trying to wake up some of the musculature at the bottom of your foot, which often gets well underworked. Again, 7 to 10, somewhere in that range, and then other direction. Calm breathing, feeling into the belly. Okay, you're going to take this leg down. Now what we're going to do is pelvic tilts. So easiest way to kind of get this is you're going to take your hands, grab your pelvis, so the bones in the hip, and you're going to tip away from you, creating space, trying to pull the hip into the ground so you got this space under your low back. And then you're going to come down, tilting, so your back comes in contact, and squeeze with the abs. A nice big exhale. So away and inhale, to the ground and exhale. Allow your head to be relaxed as you move down. The chin's going to tuck slightly. As you move up, it'll go back to neutral. Really try and curl as much as you can. Really fire up the back muscles. And then fire up the abs. If you're feeling pretty good, you can just put your hands to the side and relax them. We'll do another 3 of these. Last one. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to try some rocking sit-ups. So what you're going to do is bring your knees to your chest, and you're going to rock and try to sit up. The goal here is to feel gentle rotation, curving of the spine. So you want to think you're rolling on the whole spine all the way back and then all the way up. If you can't do that comfortably, if you're feeling like my back's very stiff, one, you want to think about being extended. That often helps. But you can also just do kind of gentle back and forth without coming all the way up. And then as you're getting more comfortable with this, you can allow yourself to go all the way up. We're going to try for about 10 of these. Thinking exhale, inhale. If you are getting all the way up, try to make sure you bring your chest forward. Sit up as tall as you can. If you're doing the ground versions, it's the same. I'll try and get a little bit of a pause at that top position. I'll go one more of these. And then if you're not up here, try and bring yourself up to this bent sit position. The knees are bent, you're up nice and tall. What we're going to do here is you're going to take both knees, drop them to one side. So you have a 90-degree bend here, 90-degree bend here. We're going to do some twists. So sitting up nice and tall, you're going to take your knees, bring them up and over. Now, if you need to, you can totally put your hands behind you, up and over. So that will help keep your spine nice and extended. Your head is as tall as you can make it. So you want to think exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Again, spine is as tall as you can make it. Your head is pushing up to the ceiling. Go One more on each side. Well, in here in this bent position, I have no idea what time it is and I need to check that. Okay, my first time doing this class, so gotta keep myself aware of the pacing. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna come into a tabletop position. So hips over knees, hands below shoulders. Said that backwards. What we're gonna do here is a wrist warm up to begin with. If you're pretty comfortable in tabletop, you can do most of this here. If you're not, I would advise coming down, being nice and close to your knees. What we're going to do first is some nice gentle circling. You want to feel the weight transferring through all of your fingers and all of the knuckles of your hand as you're making these circles. Try and keep a slight arch to your low back so you're keeping yourself extended, so you're not just kind of rounding and then flaring. You want to think about shifting your hips forward and back so you actually are moving your body weight around. Try and maintain that nice calm breathing. We're going to go the other direction here. I like to exhale when I'm in the front, inhale when I'm in the back, but you can do whatever rhythm works for you. Trying to feel that motion shifting in every part of your wrist. Okay, nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the back of your hand. Again, nice and close in to your knees. And you're going to push the ground away from you. And then just kind of sink back towards your hips so you feel a stretch in the forearm. And then come back. Sink back until you feel a stretch. Like to go inhale, exhale. If this is still a little bit too much, you can go up onto your legs and just kind of push forwards and rock like this. Oftentimes, the wrists are particularly difficult to stretch comfortably. But it is very important, if you're doing anything on your hands, to get your wrists warmed up. Do a couple more of these. Okay, and then gently pull that. And what we're going to do now is you're going to make a fist. You're going to put it on the ground. Again, push the ground away from you. And you're going to rock forwards, back to the fist, and rock down, back to the fist. So just back and forth with this, trying to feel that weight kind of transferring. You keep your hands right below your shoulders. And just back and forth. And there we go. Now, last wrist one we're going to do is you're going to plant your hands. I'm turning this way so you can see. You're going to think about taking the crease of your elbow and making that point forwards. Both hands, elbows forward. So you're just twisting as you push the ground away from you. Try and think about keeping weight down right here on the knuckle of your pointer finger. That will generate more tension as you do this twist. You should feel this kind of up into your armpit, maybe in your chest a little bit. Again, try and focus a nice calm nose breathing. Two more. And there we go. The wrist should be feeling nice and warm. If you need to, you can shake it out a little bit. And what we're going to do next is some bird dogs, opposite arm leg, whatever you know these as. I'll try this way. So we're going to go back into tabletop. And what you're going to do here is keeping your abs engaged. You're gonna reach one arm forwards, one leg back. If you notice, I do not have room for this, but this is what this is supposed to look like. So at that nice full extension, you're driving your fingers and toes as far away from each other as possible. I'm gonna orient this way, just so I can get the full, no, sideways, yes. This is one of the problems if you do not have large space. If you're really restricted, what you can do is go out to the side. That works similarly, or you can do bent forwards and back, also works similarly if you have a restricted space. I can just rotate, get that diagonal room. But nice calm breathing, focus on maintaining that core stability. This is really challenging for you to maintain this position. You can go one limb at a time and get that 3-point stance. And that's totally fine. You're still working everything just the same. You're just getting a little bit more stability. Or you can do both. Okay. Now we're going to come back to the tabletop position, up on the toes. We're going to do some downward dog movements. If this is something you know you have troubles with for your wrists, you can go onto the elbows, right? And that's just going to make it a lot tighter in the chest, which is fine. It's kind of the goal here anyways. But pushing the ground away from your abs are engaged. You're up on your toes. You're going to move your hips back and up as far as you can. Trying to feel that stretch in your chest, your back, your hamstrings. I'm going to pause here, just take some nice breaths, getting into whatever position you can to maintain that extended spine. Nice calm nose breathing. You're pushing down with your hands into the ground, in with your fingers. And what we're going to do here is calf raises to try to get more hamstring stretch. So you're going to push up as far as you can on your toes, trying to really get a hamstring stretch here. And then you're going to hold that as you sink your heels back down. It's going to make that hamstring stretch more intense. Push, find that arch, get your hips as high as possible. Sink it down. A nice big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If your arms get tired, feel free to come down, or if you want to, like I said, you can shift your elbows. And this will work just the same. It's just a little tighter. You can even be right over here, and that's still going to get stretching the hamstrings if you really try and get your back arched. Come back here. And just 2 more of these. And from here, I want you to shift forwards, bring your leg, and we're going to stand up. And yes, we'll have time for a couple more of the things I want to do. So, you're going to take your hands, reach as far forward as you can, put your hands together, right? Trying not to round in the chest. What we're going to do in here is one hand goes down, one hand goes up, out to the side, and then meet. So this is a bit of a coordination drill for your shoulders, as well as being a really nice way to warm up chest, shoulders. So just nice controlled circles, maintaining that nice calm breathing. You're going to be standing so you can feel weight on all your toes. Knees are slightly bent, the glutes are engaged. I'm going to pause here and then the other way. Make sure you're trying to reach your hands as far away from you as you can the whole time you're circling. You might be getting some lactic acid buildup in your shoulders. And while I know that's uncomfortable, all right, you want to try and make sure your shoulders are strong in these positions. Try and go slow. Try and breathe calmly. And there we go. Second to last movement is going to be some reaching twists. So you're going to get yourself a nice strong position, knees bent, toes engaged. And you're going to take your hands. You're going to reach both of them behind you. Try and focusing with that outer hand to twist and then come back. Make sure you're pushing with the opposite side of your hip, driving it forwards as you reach. So when I'm reaching back with my right hand, my right hip is driving forwards, reaching back with the left hand, the left hip is driving forwards. And you should feel that rotation in your upper back. Try to look at the hand that's as far away from you as you can. You're really wanting to feel that shoulder blades, upper back. Nice calm breathing pattern. In through the nose, out through the nose. Go one more on each side. And to finish it off, we're going to do some neck circles. So get into a nice standing position. And we're going to tuck the chin down. So you want to feel a stretch in the back of your neck. Breathe here. Move to the side. So you're trying to bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Breathe here. And then back. Try to move your chin as far behind you as you can. And breathe this way. Back to the chin tuck. Again, feeling that stretch in the back of your neck. Now we're going to go the other direction, left ear to left shoulder first. Chin driving behind you. Right ear to right shoulder. Try to keep the left one from kicking up. And chin tuck. Gently bring your head up. I want you to open your palms, point your thumbs out to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades. And take 2 breaths here, and I want you to think, get as tall as you possibly can. Tall as you can. Squeeze whatever you feel needs to squeeze for that to happen. Last big breath, big as you can. Hold. And a nice big exhale. Okay, so that was the applied mobility class.